Yo, my computer is a mess, dude.
Is it a
Holy
curse?
mackerel.
Is it a curse?
It is a Leprechaun cursed right now.
It's looking that way.
Wow, it's brand new, man. It's gave me a hard time the other night. I rebooted it. It's giving me a hard time now. Let's hope this stream runs pretty smoothly tonight. How we all doing, guys? Welcome back to the RadPack podcast.
Whoop whoop.
What is up, guys?
The Irish accent through the whole show.
I need to finally just admit to myself that I just can't do accents. I just can't do it. So I'm just not going to try anymore.
Oh my God. It's nuts, guys. We wanted to do this just as like a recorded podcast. We decided, heck, let's just do it live. It's easy enough. But the hard part was I haven't watched a lot of these movies in a long time. And I don't think either of my co-hosts did as well. So that was the undertaking, is that we had to try to watch all these Leprechaun movies in like, I don't know, what, 5 days or something like that?
I watched them all in 2. Thank God I was sick.
Yeah, I was watching them for the last at least 2 or 3 days.
Oh my God. And it's interesting. It's going to be an interesting chat tonight. But before we get started, we'll talk a little bit about the franchise. We'll talk about our experiences with it. And then we'll kind of get into our rankings round robin style. So it'll be interesting to see how everything kind of falls, because I think we're going to have some different opinions on this one. So, all right, Vanderhoff in the house. His order is that they were made. That's his ranking right there. Wow, we got already ranking. Monkey's ranking. There he goes. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Look at this. Saturn Video chiming in. Leprechaun 4 is the best. What's up, Sydney?
Is that the space? Is Leprechaun 4 in space?
Yep, I think so.
All right.
What's up, Brent? Hall and Oates, what's going on? Top of the evening to you, Gigi Allen. Danny Dundada. What's up? First 3, then I'm losing it. What's up, John Doe Juggalo? What's up, My Killer Podcast, Mel? Hey, everyone. What's up, Movie Misfits? Go check out Chris. And Chris is here as well. Excellent. Blu-ray Addict, what's going on? Let me see. For real. Chris says, you don't want Leprechaun to come after you. He's kind of mean, so hit that like button and enjoy the stream. But look at that. Like Ryan's, dude. I like that.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely hit that like. Blu-ray Addict, what's going on? He rewatched Leprechaun 1 and 2 again today. Tiana loves movies. How are you?
What's up, Tiana?
Let me see who else is in the house here. Scrolling. What's up, Zombie Daddy?
What is up?
Dude, what is going on? Hit that like button.
What's up, dude?
Yeah, we were working on Justin's audio. He sounds good, right, Justin?
Yeah, for the moment. But I tell you what, Christian, keep us posted. Maybe if you hear any changes in the audio we need to be aware of, be sure and let us know. We appreciate you, buddy.
Sachi's in the house. What's up, man? Dakota. What's up? Here's my hot take. Let me know what I said. The first of hot child. Wow. That is a hot take and a half.
That is a bold statement. That is a bold statement.
Fachi says he would like some RadPack up in him.
Oh.
Sick. Brent says he got the Steelbook, watch 1 through 5 this week. Wow, you were getting ready for the show, man. Audio commentary by Warwick Davis. That's interesting. I haven't checked that one out. Thank you, Zbam. Thank you, dude. Let's see. All right, I think that's pretty much everybody that's come in. Let me see. People are here, but they're chatting back and forth.
Like to
Dylan,
see
what's up? Want to share a joint with Ice Teen Leprechaun? Yeah. So, Leprechaun.
Huh.
You guys remember when this came out? I feel like it was pretty hyped as a kid. Now, again, I was very young when this came out. So to me, this seemed really rad because it was something that I didn't think I was going to be able to check out because I was so young when it came out. Do you guys recall when this thing first came out?
I'm looking it up right now. What was it? 90? Well, it was 90, right? 92?
90.
Was it 92?
Yeah,
93?
92 or 93. IMDb says 92, but Google says 93.
So you guys were definitely young.
Yeah, I saw this on HBO back in the day, way back in the day. And it kind of blew up instantly. Like when that movie came out, I don't remember how well it did or anything, but it must have done somewhat well because it entered like the pop culture zeitgeist. It was in, Wayne's World and all that shit. So I remember the hype. I don't know if I saw it till probably, I don't know if I saw it the year it came out. Probably 93 or 94, something like that.
He actually says Leprechaun was filmed in 91, but shelved until early 93.
Interesting.
So that's very interesting. And again, you're right. It did kind of hit pop culture because, like you said, Wayne's World were doing it. I think, there was clips of him in other things. I don't know if he was at award shows in that outfit, but I do remember just a lot of hype around this movie when it came out. And, being such a young kid at the time, I knew I was going to catch this in theater. So I didn't see it until it hit like the video store. Maybe I saw it for the first time on TV. But it was something I always wanted, especially because around that time I was such a Wayne's World like fanatic that of course I wanted to see what they were talking about. Like I knew the character, but I was like, oh my God, this movie's probably so scary. But I
was that Leprechaun bit where he's like the Leprechaun? Was that in the movie or was that on the show? Was it the movie, wasn't it?
It's actually, what's funny is that it was in the movie. It was in part 2. They also did it on the show, on the Wayne's World show on Saturday Night Live. They did the same bit. And I'll be shocked if anybody remembers this, but I can remember it as clear as day, is that on MTV, there was like this Wayne's World countdown, probably around 93, 94, where they counted down like their favorite music videos or something. And they did a huge bit on that. And I've been trying to find that clip for so long. And everywhere like Garth would look, you'd see the Leprechaun somewhere, and he'd freak out. And I couldn't find it anywhere. But
it wasn't on YouTube or anything?
No, I couldn't find it.
Damn, is that like some Leprechaun lost media there?
I'm telling you, it has to be, because I can remember it as clear as day. And I don't know what the show was, but I can remember like Metallica's Unforgiven was on their list and stuff like that. And I don't know what the name of that show was called, but I would love to try to find that Leprechaun clip. But and how about you, Mel?
I definitely didn't see it until VHS. I don't even remember this movie being released or the hoopla about it or anything. I just remember my mom came home with the VHS one time and we watched it together like a big happy family.
Oh yeah, your mom's rad.
You say happy St. Patrick's Day, Mel.
Yeah.
Here you go. Sit down and shut up. We're gonna watch this.
Yeah, exactly. You want to watch My Little Pony? Shut up! We're watching the. But I remember watching all of these, and I have a lot of nostalgia for most of them. So my ranking is going to be interesting.
I am very interested to see your ranking, honestly, because I have like a little nostalgia with some of these, but not all of them. I think I fell out of it for a while, and then I probably watched them when they first came to DVD, and this is probably some of these. I think this might be the second or third time I've ever watched them, was just now. So,
wow,
yeah. So it's definitely kind of interesting to talk about it. And that was the first one, and I think the first one, like you said, it did make. I think the budget was only $1 million for the first one, and it did make money. So therefore, that it definitely greenlit a sequel, but the sequel kind of bombed, and it seems that after the sequel, they all became, straight to video more or less after that. So I think the first two are the only ones that really had like a large theatrical release. And then after that, everything was straight to video. And even the new one, I think, was like a straight to sci-fi release or something like that. Now, do you guys have any of these on physical media in any formats or anything like that?
I had the DVD set, and it just looks terrible.
Does
I mean, I don't even think it was 720. I was like watching 2P. It was really terrible. That's why I'm wondering if that Blu-ray set. Oh, that's cool. Is that Blu-ray or is that DVD?
This is the new Walmart collection release or whatever. But I bought it because I didn't have them on physical media at all.
Well, then you have returns, because I think that's in there too.
Yeah, I mean, all 8 of them are in here, but I'm pretty sure I have that returns DVD because it came with a slip cover that was just like chef's kiss,
So is there any sort of a new transfer on any of those? Have you heard any word on how those look on that set?
Well,
they're Blu-ray.
Yeah, because I have the one you have, I think, Justin, but a Blu-ray version of it with the slip.
Oh wow.
And they looked good, I thought. HD, And this is just missing returns. This has all of them except for that one on there.
A lot of them that I was watching, they really did honestly look like VHS quality. It was really, really terrible.
But I do have this set, which I think is like was so cool back in the day. Is this one? This is the DVD set. But what's nice is that they all come like in their individual cases with like the original art and stuff like that. So, you know, it's cool that they have all that like original artwork on them. So I really like this edition. That's why I never ended up getting rid of it. Because it was such a cool release. Like with those, I think Artisan maybe put this. Oh, Trimark did it. So, but yeah, I definitely kept this kind of hanging around just based on that. But it's only got like the main couple movies in it, so it doesn't have like any of the remake or whatever on there. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm dying to kind of wait a minute. Hold on a second. Dude found it. I sent it. It's called A Wayne's World After All. That must be the thing. Shit, man. Wow. How did you find that? I seriously was like looking to make a clip all day today. That is wild.
Oh shit.
But yeah, so I mean, I don't know what the best way to do this. Kind of talk about the movies as we rank them, or do you want to go through?
We just all go like start it. Was there 8 of them, right?
Yeah.
So we just start at 8, go round in a circle, and just give our rankings one at a time. Okay,
sounds good. And we can just talk about each one, I guess.
Yeah, we just kind of break them down a little bit. Get the bullshit out of the way with the bottom of the list. I don't think our bottom halves are going to look too different. I don't think. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, they might not, but I have some things to say about one of them.
Okay, we'll
for sure
dive in.
I have things to say about all of them, but I don't have as much nostalgia for really any of the sequels. I guess maybe I'll preface my list of in case I'm going to be kind of hard on some of these. I just don't want anybody to get bummed thinking I'm shitting on these movies. They're all fine in their own way, but I don't have a lot of these I watched for the first time.
Everyone's going to think you just hate the Leprechaun franchise after this.
Some of them are pretty bad, but like I said, some of them I was watching for the first time.
Listen,
pretty rough.
I'm going to have a hot take. I think a lot of these are pretty much shit that I'll never watch again.
Oh no, I'm gonna have the hot take because I think some of these are great.
No, but nobody likes when people don't like when you bash things. So therefore, everything has to be good.
It's all in good fun. It's all in good
fun. All right, so I think this first one's gonna be easy. It's gonna be the number 8 ranking, and we'll kind of talk about it. But for me, it was Leprechaun Origins.
Same.
Was the worst for me.
It's not even a Leprechaun movie.
It was definitely different, right? It was definitely a different take on the whole lore of Leprechaun. They were trying to, I think, restart it, I believe. And Hornswoggle, who was the professional wrestler, was the Leprechaun in this. And
which you never saw.
Yeah, you don't even get a full body shot, really.
It's a really wild. I mean, there were points of it at the beginning where I was like, okay, this seems like it's going to be pretty brutal. Like, it's going to be very different. Like, she was getting dragged through the grass and all this stuff. And I'm like, it's going to be dark. This is going to be cool. Yeah. Which it kind of was, but I just feel like nothing happened, really. Like, that was my big problem, is I just feel like there was nothing to it. Like, the thing about Leprechaun, it's horror, but there was a lot of campiness, especially towards the beginning half of the franchise. This didn't have anything, I feel like. So, to me, I was just totally bored with this. I'm going to have to say the least favorite was Origins.
Yeah, I completely agree. There's nothing. I mean, like you pretty much said it all. I mean, maybe some gore could have helped it out for me. I think they were trying to do like what they were doing in the early 2000s and do that kind of Platinum Dune style gritty take on it. But I just don't think they had the budget. If I could have seen, like, if there was shitloads of gore and maybe it was lit a little bit better and I could see the Leprechaun a little bit more, maybe it would have been okay. But like you said, it was just kind of a nothing burger. Nothing fucking happens in that movie.
A nothing burger.
For real.
I don't know. I have a feeling Mel's gonna have an interesting one because she didn't chime in or anything.
Yeah, so she didn't. She was like, okay, hold on, motherfuckers.
Okay, so my number 8 is Leprechaun number 1.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
Oh shit! I was like, damn. Okay.
I'm kidding. All right, so I did have Origins as my number 8 too, but Hear me out. So I actually didn't think it was that bad of a movie on its own. Outside of being a Leprechaun movie, it's actually kind of a fun little horror flick. Like it was clearly kind of one of those, it seems like one of those cash grab situations where they had an idea for a horror movie and they just threw the Leprechaun name on it as a cash grab. But if you would have just made this like something else, it wasn't that bad. There was gore in it. Like some of the kills were brutal. Like the thing
guy gets his
ripped that
leg.
guy's spine out of his body.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I mean? So I was entertained by the movie itself, but it did annoy me that they called it a Leprechaun movie because one, there was literally no Leprechaun in it. Two, they called it an origins movie, but they told no origin story whatsoever. Like you got to see the first human encounter and you got to see like the 100th human encounter, but like it didn't really tell you where these things came from or anything like that. So that was like my most annoying aspect of this movie. And honestly, I just put it at 8 because it's not a Leprechaun movie. That's literally the only reason this movie is sitting at 8, because I enjoyed it as a horror movie.
I feel like there is a cool concept in there about like having like some cool leprechaun lore and having these townspeople kind of be forced to give an offering once a year. Like there is kind of a cool story in there somewhere.
Yeah, they could have done that without making it a leprechaun, because it seemed really cheap when they threw like the gold in there that like one time.
Or just go all in on the leprechaun stuff, make it way more leprechaun-y, you know what I mean, with way more lore and clovers and gold. But it's like they didn't
and have it talk and say funny rhymes.
Yeah, you got to have the one-liners, man. It's like part of the whole deal.
Like that's the whole shtick of this franchise, is that it's a comedy and there's rhymey, funny one-liner lines and stuff like that. And this movie was just something else.
Yeah, it's not a Leprechaun movie.
I think you've actually hit it right on the head with that. I bet it was supposed to be something else and then just got slapped with the Leprechaun thing on it, just because a lot of times they'll do that when all of a sudden they have like an IP and it's running out. So they're like, oh shit, we got to put something out or we're going to lose this. Right. So maybe the idea was to kind of have a brand new franchise kind of built off this. Maybe they just had a movie that they had done that they didn't know what they want to do with, so they slapped that on and changed a couple things to make it work.
That seems like it could very much be the case right there.
Yeah, because we've seen it so many times before. And I'll actually go out and say, in my opinion, it doesn't have to do with this, but I really liked that last Wrong Turn movie that they did, where they slapped Wrong Turn on it, and it has nothing to do with Wrong Turn or anything about all the other Wrong Turn movies. But I think what they said, that they had a movie, they didn't have a title for it. They needed to keep this IP, so they slapped Wrong Turn on it. And a lot of people ignored it because they're like, oh God, another Wrong Turn or a Wrong Turn remake or whatever. Nobody watched it, but I'm gonna tell you, it was pretty awesome. And I'll stand behind that one. That if you haven't checked out that one that came out like a year or two ago, I highly recommend it. Even like Uncle Bill, who doesn't like much, really liked it a lot. And if you guys haven't checked it, I would definitely check it out, and just don't look at it as a Wrong Turn movie, because it doesn't have any feel for that movie at all. But it's a real cool flick if you haven't seen it. Did you ever see that one, Mel?
I don't think so.
I think it's just called Wrong Turn, and I think it came out like 2 years ago, probably. But
yeah,
I would definitely
think I gave up on those movies a while ago.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did, and that's why. But yeah, I think a lot of people had not seen it due to just that. But like you said, maybe for people going into Leprechaun Origins with not thinking it's a Leprechaun movie, might enjoy it a little bit more.
Yeah, agreed.
All right.
Number 7.
Number 7 for me is Back to the Hood.
Same.
My number 7. Wow. Okay. I don't know. I'm really done with like it got way too slapstick for me. Like for my taste, it was like I don't even know what it would have just made for TV garbage. I don't know. I didn't like it at all. I thought it wasn't funny. I don't know. It just was too much in that silly direction that I just was like, eh.
I kind of felt like Back to the Hood was like less funny slapstick than To the Hood was.
Oh, no worry, we're getting to that one soon.
I thought the kitchen scene in that movie was freaking hilarious.
The kitchen scene where he bumped into the
he gets like high
door.
And then he goes to the kitchen and he's like trying to smoke more. He's trying to eat. He gets like knocked into the fridge. Like that whole sequence was how
Naked Gun. Like
they kept
what
missing each other. Like the dude
It was kind of clever. That's the thing with
missing each other. It was hilarious.
Yeah, and then when he's smoking the bong with them and shit, I posted that on my stories. That was pretty good. That's the thing about these movies that's kind of a bummer in a way, is that every single one of them, no matter how like fucking bad they are, they all have like a few solid moments that's like, damn it, I wish this was better. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm gonna preach
kinda
this
how I was
to you
feeling.
guys through this whole ranking is this is what these movies are. This is what they were always meant to be. When you watch the first one, it is straight comedy throughout that whole movie. This is always what they were meant to be. So you gotta watch them
I don't know.
as horror
I hear that.
Horror
and
comedy is not
100%.
comedy with horror element. That's the difference.
Well,
I think at
like a
one
comedy
point they
horror.
made a real big switch and just said,
Yeah.
"Fuck it, let's just go all in."
You
here.
know,
I don't think it
kinda started happening
would be
in
like
3.
this at all.
I thought that too, but then I literally rewatched all of these movies in 2 days, and they all have the same feel to them except for Origins. I mean, they all kind of feel a little different, but Origins was like the outlier for sure.
The problem with these is like they just really drag. Like they all may have a couple funny moments, but you got to sit through like chunks of like 15 minutes at a time that is just like a slog to get through. That's the problem. That's what I have an issue with, like the Hood ones, because they're kind of funny, but they just fucking drag. You're like, I get it. You know, like 40 minutes into it, you're like, okay, I'm ready for the shit to be over, you know?
I thought for
That's
sure
my
you guys were
opinion,
going to
like-
have Return as number 7 because I have Return as number 7. That one was hard to get through. That one just, it was horrifying because it was like they were trying to recreate the movie magic of the first one, and they failed because they made the Leprechaun look like the Leprechaun in the first one, but they didn't cast Warwick to do it. And they tried to make him funny, but he sounded like a little girl. I mean, there was some good gore in it, I guess, but it was just way too on the nose. It wasn't funny. The one-liners were just ridiculous. So that one should be number 8, but like I said, Origin is number 8 because it's not a Leprechaun movie. But my Return should be number 8. I just did not.
How you gonna do my boy Steve Kostansky like that, man?
I can't with that one.
We'll talk. Mine's a little higher on the list there. It's the director who did Psycho Goreman.
I love Psycho Goreman though.
Yeah.
You know that. That's like one of my faves, but
Mhm.
I can't rank this movie based off of the director. I gotta rank it as the movie, and it was just it was a cheap one-off.
Not feeling it.
No.
Yeah, I hear you.
And you said yours, Justin, was Back to the Hood as well?
Back to the Hood. Yep, that's my number 7.
All right. Yeah, some people, it seems like it's funny because going through the chat really quick, it seems like a lot of people are just all over the place with this franchise. Like, you know, in a lot of franchises, you always know like the couple people are going to really like, the couple they're not. This is everywhere. People are like, oh, you know, Back to the Hood and the number 1 of my favorite. I love Back to the Hood. Then it's like, I only like 1 through 3. Like this just, we're all over the map with this. And I think that's kind of what this franchise does. Is it is so kind of like polarizing in a way. Like it can go in any direction because it, in my opinion, it is very different. And that's going to lead into the next one for me. This is our number 6 ranking, and it's going to be Leprechaun in the Hood is going to be number 6.
Same.
Wow, me and Justin are right on point right now. It's
We're
like
in sync,
I
dude.
knew I was gonna be the oddball.
it was too silly. Like it was too over the top silly. Like people are cross dressing. There's all weed everywhere. It was just too much. Like they started okay with Ice-T. It started fine. Like I like the element with I love Ice-T. I thought he was cool in that movie. Like I thought it was a good element, but it got like way too jokey. Like that rap group and stuff. Like it was just too stupid. Like where they think he's like banging like that cross-dressing man or whatever in the room. Like it was just too
None of
dumb.
it made any fucking sense. I just could not take the songs. Every time they started rapping, I'm like,
oh, the rhymes were on point in that one though. The rhymes.
Are you serious?
Oh, they were like at their all-time high
God.
in this movie. They were so good.
No,
I would rather
I
listen
lived
to...
for the rhymes when I was a kid.
Like
I
you have
would
the soundtrack
legit
and you
come
would
up with
listen to
my own, and yeah, it was just hilarious.
I would.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
I would rather listen to Top That from Teen Witch before I listen to these guys do this shit again. That's for sure.
No, I'm not talking about the
Oh, shit.
rapping. I'm talking about the Leprechaun, like his one
Oh,
liner.
the Leprechaun.
You know how
oh,
he
his-
always made
his rap.
everything rhyme?
Yeah,
Well, then
that's
he rapped
funny.
at the end, right? Didn't he sing a rap at the end? Was that this one? I got them both freaking confused. There was one where he was in like a club rap.
Yeah, I think it was this one, but I'm not talking about that either. Like
Oh,
from the first movie all the way through all the movies, like he would say little rhymey things like what were some of them?
oh yeah.
I
Brett
wrote
made a good
some
point.
of
Remember
them
that was a stupid
down.
flute?
Oh God, that fucking flute.
Yeah, I don't know. He just always said some like funny stuff, like try as they will, try as they might, who steals
Oh,
me
yeah.
gold won't live through the night.
Yeah, he
Like,
speaks in limericks.
yeah, he did that shit through every single movie, and they were
Yeah.
on point in this movie, like all-time high funniness, just hilarious.
Do you know what's
I
a better
don't know, Mel.
Leprechaun movie than half of these movies was the Leprechaun episode from Are You Afraid of the Dark trumped like half of these freaking Leprechaun movies. You guys
Probably
haven't
true.
seen
I don't
that,
remember it, but
and that's the same thing. They did the same thing. Like they would do a lot of rhyming and stuff like that, like
Mhm.
Leprechaun does. But it's actually really good if anybody hasn't seen it. But yeah, I don't know.
But it sounds like, Mel, you have a lot of nostalgia, like you said, for these. So I just didn't
Yeah.
grow up with this. This was the first time I watched these hood ones, and
I watched
I
all
missed
these
my-
movies, like aside from the last two. I watched them a lot. And like I said, like when I was a kid, I used to think the little limericks were like the coolest thing ever. And I was like always so excited to like hear them in the next movies and the next movies. And the hood ones were the best.
Did you used to
How
go
did
outside and be
they-
like, "Mama, do we live in the hood?" You just ask her. You're like looking around rapping.
How did they get away
No,
with that
but-
guy being called Master P? Because Master P was like an established rapper at that time.
Well, it wasn't Master
Was
P.
it T?
Was
Was it
something
Master?
else.
It was like it was. I think it was like Master T or
It
something.
was
I don't know,
something
it was
Master
something.
P.
Well, maybe it was actually.
Maybe I heard it wrong. I don't know. I was like, how the
And-
you can't just
Oh, it was
Say that.
post Master P.
Oh, that's what it was.
Postmaster.
Postmaster.
Spreading the
Master
good
P.
news, man.
Yeah, the thing is, like, was this the one too where
positivity shit.
they were smoking the shamrock, or was that the other one?
I think they.
I
smoked
thought
the
I thought of
Shamrock,
Justin
I
a lot
think it-
actually when I was
I
watching.
think it was
all the drugs.
I was
in
thinking to
these
myself,
hood.
like,
it was back
as
to
they
the
were doing it,
hood.
I'm like, these are definitely going on the top of Justin's list just for this. I guarantee it.
Fuck, I
I'm
couldn't
actually
get
pretty-
high enough to enjoy.
Oh my
some of
god,
these.
yeah, they should have.
I'm shocked that you put this high. I mean, on the list like this low. I thought for sure you were gonna have these ones.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna relate. Blah blah blah.
But we do get a super chat from dude Cody over at Dude Loves Movies. Go check him out. He just put out a funny video today. Leprechaun Back to the Hood is the third best act of the franchise. The thing with Leprechaun shouldn't marathon them all in space between. The thing with Leprechaun is shouldn't marathon them all. I don't know what that means.
He's saying like it's good in small doses, right? I think what he's
that's-
I
saying.
disagree.
Oh, 'cause
I
we-
loved marathoning them all because then you got to see the differences between them, like the little
Binging these
changes
was
in his
rough.
outfit and stuff
Mine went like
that.
this. I was watching, and all of a sudden it just did like this huge nosedive, and I'm like, oof, this has got real brutal.
Oh my god, I was
Oh,
like
yeah.
so excited for all of them.
All right.
I did
Thank you, Cody.
In the Hood and Back to the Hood in a double feature, man, and it was fucking longest 3 hours of my life.
All right, we're gonna do a little super chat thing. I'll do this one for Mel.
They call me Mo because every time they give me something, I always want more.
Oh shit, I love it, dude. It's growing back on me now.
Oh
Always
my
want
Gee,
God.
like giggle gets me every time.
All right.
Well, this is fun going down the line, dude. Let's hit number 5. I'm ready to fucking rock and
I mean,
roll.
I don't know. I feel like this
Oh
is where
no,
me
I
and
didn't
Justin
say
are gonna-
mine. I didn't.
Oh,
say
you didn't say
mine.
yours?
No.
Oh, all right. Yeah. What is
Oh,
So
it?
my
my
bad.
number 6 is Leprechaun 2.
Oh, okay.
That movie is boring as shit. And the lead woman, the lead girl,
She's terrible.
was
Yeah,
so weird. She was
she was-
weird.
her voice
She had
sounds
this
weird.
like weird look, like
Oh, she talk like this too.
yeah,
It's
she had this
weird.
like weird look on her face the whole time. She just couldn't get over her. The movie was boring. The Leprechaun was the only good thing about it. None of the characters were fun, and it had that really awkward kill scene where like
The boobs?
the guy wishes for No, that's 3, and we'll get to that.
Oh, was it? Was
yeah.
it?
This one had the one where the old man wishes for his pot of gold.
Oh no, that
and
was a different boobs one. The boobs one I'm thinking of is where he was like where the girl took her shirt off and he was going in and it like had the lawnmower or whatever like chopped him up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's a
was
different
this
one.
one.
Yeah.
That was weird too. Oh, this is like that was like the first time we got boobs too.
Yes.
You know. But he
So
wishes
saying-
for the pot of gold, and the leprechaun's like, "Sure, you can have it." And then it enters his stomach, and it's like he's sitting on the ground, and the pot of gold is in his stomach, and it's like just this flesh like sitting on his lap, and it's like a
weird.
pot of gold.
He didn't like Morty.
And then he like ripped, and he's like, "Get it out of me!" And he's like, "Okay." And then he cuts him open. That's like the worst.
Do me a
thing.
personal favor.
you didn't
That's
like
what
Morty?
I kept on thinking him from Seinfeld, man. That was the same guy, right?
Yeah, remember?
He
Take
tries,
the
take the
Jerry,
pen,
take
take the
I have
pen.
no idea.
It was Morty.
I love
Well,
that.
and she was so mean to her boyfriend. Like throughout the whole
Yeah.
beginning of the movie, she was like wanting to hang out with this other guy. And then like all of a sudden she gets kidnapped by a leprechaun and she wants her boyfriend to save her. Like rude.
I don't know.
I'll just say
one,
this
actually.
because we're talking about 2 and I want to jump in. Number 5 for me, and the next one, sorry to jump ahead. That is number 2. I thought it was so fucking boring. I was so bored to tears with that movie. And even though the chick and the lead, she wasn't enough to save it, man, because her performance is so bad. I didn't understand the point of the story. It was wasn't like driving some kind of late night tour thing.
Yeah, Leprechaun. I will get into it when I bring it up too, but yeah, we'll get into it, I guess, when but you said number 5 was yours and that was number 2.
Yeah.
Is there anything you liked about it or no, not really? It still was on the shitter.
No, because there really isn't anything. They have that weird stomach coin thing. I don't think there's any other decent kills. The story is weird. That male lead is fucking annoying as shit. He's such a pussy. And I don't know, that movie just sucks.
Do you want to know? I remember the beginning of this movie the best, though. It's like it's always the first thing that pops into my mind when I think about the Leprechaun movies. When it's like way in the past, and the leprechaun has that slave, and it's his daughter, and she sneezes 3 times, and he's like, "Bless you, my child." I always just remember that scene for some reason.
I thought it was gonna be cool because that chick looked like smoking hot in that opening scene too, and like that night scene.
Until she smiled, and she was like.
Yeah, it's like, okay, hold on, what's going on here? It also kind of
That's what she looked like through the whole movie.
Yeah, like a deer in the headlights. Yeah, she like didn't know what to do with their face. It kind of the beginning of that movie also gave me like Troll 2 vibes a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like back in the day kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right. So you're number 5, right?
Uh-huh.
All right, my number 5 is Leprechaun in Space is my number 5. And this is where I really think that I thought this is where the franchise really started to like crumble, was on this one. It got a little too out there for me. I don't know. I just didn't. It was just the same thing. It was too much. Like there was elements of this I liked. Like I thought that the CGI, I mean, I thought that the practical effects they used in it were still pretty good. Like that guy being like the robot and all this other stuff. I thought that
there was so cool. Many good practical effects in the movie. The whole
so that's what I think is the only thing that really saved it for me. I'm not a big space, like, I don't know. It depends on the situation, I guess. This one I didn't care for at all. Again, it was better than all the other ones we talked about, but this is where I really started to be like, oh shit, this is what's going to start happening to this franchise. And I just wasn't digging it. I didn't like the big I was going to say Big Willow, but big leprechaun like running through the ship like that, like
And he got kind of pixelated that for whatever reason with the visual effects they couldn't.
The CGI was
fucking
terrible.
Like when then
and
the practical
was
were good
at times too.
Yeah, when they got the CGI in, you could tell this was around that time when CGI was like new. So it's like the practical effects look good, but the CGI looked bad. And that's where I think I was really getting taken out of it. But definitely felt like a sci-fi original kind of Leprechaun movie from back in the mid 90s or whatever. So yeah, that's my number 5 is going to be Leprechaun in Space from 1996.
Hell yeah. I love it.
My number 5, I'm gonna apologize. The train is going by, and if I have to talk, I can't mute it. I'm gonna disagree. Leprechaun in Space is amazing. There's so many good things about that movie. But I'll get into it when I get to it. But my number 5 is In the Hood 2. And it's only at number 5 because the other 4 are just better. But I loved In the Hood 2. I thought it was funny. It wasn't as good as the rest of them, but it had very good moments in it.
That's what's up.
I love your profile picture, baby. Class of 84. So
So you got
In
Back
the
to the
Hood.
Hood at number 5.
Back to the Hood. All right, so we might as well at this point, we can roll back to Justin to start us at 4 if you want to.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to mess up the
No, it's all good.
the
man. It's all
rotation
good.
there. My number 4, and I feel like this is maybe a little bit of a fan favorite, but I don't know. Leprechaun 3 is my number 4. And I would have liked to almost had it higher, but it just didn't quite get there for me. It's a little slow. That's the biggest problem with all of these, just a little slow. Some of the Vegas stuff is okay, it's kind of fun at times, but
Leprechaun 3?
yeah.
This
You
is
like
where I
it?
think this is going to really get interesting now.
Did we watch the same movies? Justin, I
He's
thought for
turning
sure
the
you
guy-
love
the
this
kid.
one.
He was already annoying, and then he starts turning into isn't that the where he's turning into the leprechaun?
Yeah, where he turns
thing?
into the leprechaun and he
Oh,
starts like
God.
spitting the limericks too. And then you have that chick where she like wishes to be beautiful and the leprechaun comes in and her lips get all big and her boobs get all big and her
Yeah.
butt gets all big and then she blows up. Oh, so good.
I had a feeling you'd like that one, though. Yeah, I don't know.
I
Something about
love
it just
it.
bugged me. There's a lot of Leprechaun. It probably gives us like some of the most like Leprechaun that we see on screen, more so than the other ones, which is cool.
Oh, it had that great kill too with the magician.
Yeah, the chainsaw scene.
The chainsaw scene. Yes. That's so
And, yeah, like,
horrifying.
The when I thought the chick in this movie was gorgeous. The
She was.
blonde.
Oh yeah.
And then that scene where like the was the guy that owned the casino was going to try to hook up with her, and then all of a sudden like the girl pulled out the TV and turned into like that robot or whatever. That was sick.
That was cool. See, there's such cool stuff in this one. And the
But you know what's funny about
effects
these?
are great.
Oh yeah, for sure. But these Leprechaun movies, the big problem I have is like there was really no like rules from the get-go. So like they just started making up their own rules like as they kind of went. And then with this one, it was all about like passing around the coin. And then you got a wish kind of thing, which was kind of like a new element, I think, to this whole franchise was like the passing around the coin and having a wish. And then like the guy wished to like bang that chick or whatever. And then he was about to do it, but then like someone else picked up the coin. So that wish like went away. And then like they were able to wish. So
that was the only one where the wish went away though. Like, did you notice that? Because
I thought maybe this was the only one. Was this the first time that they did it this way? Like, is this the first time they did with the coin with the wish? I forget. Or was that always what they were?
Well, because like the first one, the boy wished to have good luck or whatever, but you never really see how that pans out. And then the casino owner wished for her and he got her, but then somebody else got the coin and it like canceled it. But then when the chick wished for beauty, the magician had a wish, but she still looked the way that she did. So there wasn't real good follow through with that, I don't think.
I think the concept is pretty cool though. Like I think it's kind of a unique element they could have really ran with like through the rest of the franchise with like the coin with the wish, but then if someone else got the coin, that wish went away. Like I think it would have played like a pretty cool effect if they would have just kept going with that, because it was interesting that way, because as something's going one way, someone else grabs the coin and it almost like it changes reality in a way. And I thought that was kind of cool. And Carolyn Williams, like that death where like her lips got big in her butt and all that stuff, that was awesome. That was so good. Yeah.
He's so good.
So that was your what, Justin? Number 4?
That was my 4. That was my 4.
You know what the funniest thing is right now as we're going into our 4, and I'm going to talk about this one now, but I'm shocked because I've thought for sure I'm going to have like the hottest take, and I am surprised Mel hasn't questioned this yet. Is that me and Justin, and I'm going to talk about it right now, still have this on our list, and it's Leprechaun Returns. is still in our lists right now.
That's
And that was like
horrible.
that was like Mel's like second to last was that. So I'm surprised you
How,
weren't like, where the hell is Leprechaun Returns and why haven't you guys talked about it yet? Because it's
I
coming
mean,
in for me right now.
each one of your guys' rankings is surprising me so much that I've forgotten about that one. But now that you bring it up, I'm horrified.
I thought this was awesome. I really thought this was cool. I mean,
Is this where it falls on your list? On number 4?
Number 4, yeah.
Number 4. That's rad, dude.
I was shocked because this was like a sci-fi original. It came out, recently, I think. Like not recently, I don't know, could be a couple years old. And it was something that kind of flew under the radar for me because I was like, I don't want to watch another Leprechaun movie with not Warwick Davis. Like I had no like will to watch this until we had to do this today. And then I'm looking around and I'm like, I swear I have this movie. And of course, like you said, I looked up and down my DVDs. I was like, I have the Blu-ray? I could not find this thing at all. So maybe I didn't own it, but I thought for sure I bought it alone because it wasn't in this set. So I thought for sure I bought it by itself, but I couldn't find it. So I watched it on like Hulu or something. And I thought it was cool. I think I like the way they connected it to the first one. And even though it's not Warwick Davis, they did a pretty good job like trying to let you know that he's changed. So it's not like, well, he doesn't even look the same. But at the beginning, when he came out of what's the guy's name from Teen Wolf there? That was in, Francis from Pee-wee. Oh my God, his name's on the tip of my tongue, but he was in the first one, right? And it came out of his stomach in that first scene. It's so cool effects. And then when he looked at himself in the mirror, he goes, ooh, I look different, but I like how I look. So he acknowledged that he looked different from being in his stomach or whatever. So I thought that was cool. Like they didn't ignore the original. They played off of it like, okay, well, I've changed now.
Well, this one was a requel, and I hate requels.
I liked all the gore, man. That's the problem. All these other movies, it's like the shtick gets old pretty quick to me. Like the one-liners are funny and some of the comedy is funny, but to me, like it's not enough to sustain it. I need give me some gore. So that one really did it for me.
But it didn't really make any sense because he had the most power in this one that he has ever had in any of the movies, and yet he dicked around so much. It's like if he could just like kill you with his hand, why didn't he just do it? You know what I mean? Too. So like, and then in the end, he just gave up. He was just like, he never got his gold. There. Like the gold was like barely in this.
There was some elements, but I think like Justin said, I thought the effects were top notch for a movie that came out on sci-fi. I thought it was really, really good.
I watched it had like that dude, and he put. I watched the interview with Kostansky, and he talked about he was just so passionate about it, and went through his little studio and showed all the effects, and him and his team created all the stuff and did it all in camera, and it worked for me, But
I would like to see a continuation of this, but I mean, I don't know if it's too far gone, but like the same Leprechaun, use him again because I think that there was something here, and I think this was the closest to the first couple that we're gonna get is what we got here. I mean, there was some cringy moments, like what was the one she said? And she stuck like the hose in his mouth and he was like blowing up, and she says, "Here comes a shamrock shake" or something. I was like, oh no. And then he like blew up and like all the green went everywhere or something like that.
All the one-liners were equally as cringe in this movie.
I was actually pleasantly surprised with this. I liked the little leprechauns where they did like the Ash thing where there were all the little ones running around.
Those were kind of funny.
I thought that was cool. She was like biting them and like stuff like that.
I'm surprised you liked this one. I thought you would like hate it, like because it's like a new movie with young kids doing young kid things.
Well, like you said, he was literally forced to for the show.
Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't watch it otherwise, but I mean, I don't think that they weren't really annoying though. Like I find a lot of kids like annoying, but they weren't really doing anything to be annoying.
Well, they were so annoying. That drunk chick was just like, "Ooh, I ferment all the plants and get hammered." Like so lame.
Oh, come on. We got some super chats coming in. Tiana, love Leprechaun movies.
Thank you.
Rewatch them on Saturday. You're gonna rewatch all of them on Saturday?
Oh, what? Damn, that's a marathon.
It's worth it.
Oh, the Gus man with the super chat. Gus, what's up? We're gonna have to get another stuff action going. All right, let's see.
I should have cut a bunch of the
I was planning on it until my computer decided it wasn't going to play ball like 10 minutes before we're about to go live. All right, let me get this going here.
You know why they call me Mo?
No, what?
Because every time people give me money, I always want more.
Okay.
Works every time. Never gets old. Ever.
Okay. But yeah, Leprechaun Returns is coming in at number 4, and I think it easily could have been 3 after we talk about the next one. So that's my number 4. Mel, where we at, kid?
My number 4 is Hood, Leprechaun in the Hood. Like I said, I just enjoy the Hood movies. I think they're funny. I honestly feel like you guys are just looking at these movies all wrong. They're horror comedies. They just are.
But I didn't find it funny.
What was the angle with the positivity rappers? What was that whole deal all about? That was so fucking annoying.
That was just, that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to be positive, but then in the end, they ended up not being positive. How cool was that ending, though? Like, this is the only movie, well, until you get to Return, where the Leprechaun doesn't die at the end. He lives. Right? It took him all the way until 5, where he actually gets to live. He lived at the end.
I don't remember the ending. If I'm being brutally honest with you.
It was good, but something I remember writing down a note about the Hood movies. So Leprechaun in the Hood starts off with the same beginning as Leprechaun Part 1, like the OG Leprechaun. So it had the same beginning. And I heard in somebody's stream the other night where they said that it was just like known that each movie, the Leprechaun is meant to be like a different Leprechaun. Is that what you guys got out of this? Because me watching this franchise as a kid, I always thought it was the same Leprechaun. I never.
Yeah, I would always assumed it was the same Leprechaun throughout every movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I assumed too. So I didn't know if anybody else like thought that or not. I just heard that on a stream the other night, and I was like, I never thought that ever.
Like every Leprechaun, it's all the same species with the same look, same voice, same all identical.
I guess.
Like Oompa Loompas.
I guess. I don't know. But his outfit kind of changes throughout the movies. It's like the first movie, it looks one way. The second movie, it looks a different way. And then like
the makeup definitely changes too.
Yeah, there's like several movies there where the costume is exactly the same. And then I forget which movie you get to. Maybe it's Back to the Hood, where it changes like completely. His outfit is like more vintage velour. But then, like in Back to the Hood, they kind of explain a little more of the origin of Leprechaun with like, there was lots of leprechauns and they all protected their gold. And then when they won, all of them retreated back to the forest except for one. And then it kind of shows you that our leprechaun is the one that decided to stay and like kill people for fun.
I mean, it's interesting concept, but this is the first time I've ever even thought about it that way. I always just assumed it was the same guy and he was just like the troublemaker one. But
yeah, that's what I always assumed too. And I mean, when you watch the movies, it doesn't explain it that way.
And the makeup changes and stuff like that. Yes, for sure. You know what though? You know what really irritated me? I was getting wicked irritated with the black on his teeth was pissing me off. I don't know why. Like it just looked like his lipstick ran or something. I was like. Like a wicked, like when you like for Halloween, if you would do like the black lips, and then all of a sudden like you touch it, and all of a sudden they'd be like a little bit on your teeth. You'd be like, what the hell? I feel like that's like I wanted to like wipe it off for him.
It was like never the same either.
No,
right.
It just looked like he was like dressing up for Halloween and like messed up the lips, and it just kind of got on his teeth. I was like, this
you can actually buy that stuff and paint your teeth. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's what it looked like he did.
Yeah.
People do that.
Oh, that's a look now, painted teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Or they can make it look like you're missing a front tooth or something like that.
You should do that next stream, Justin.
I should. To fit my vibe.
Tooth going.
You can get different colors too. You could get green or pink.
Oh, you should have did a gold tooth tonight. That would have
look like 6'9".
I'm gonna say something right now though. Well, let's get Justin first, and then I'll say. Oh, did you already do your number 4, Justin?
Yeah, mine was 3.
Okay. Now before we move on. We're on our top 3 right now. And I see people in the chat. And sorry, hello to everyone. It's hard to try to discuss these and keep jumping to the chat. So hello, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. We've got 65 people in here. Thank you. Definitely hit that like button if you guys are enjoying us going back and forth about these films that we love and hate. But I will say this, and I want to see what you guys have to say about this. Now, we've done the podcast now is going on. It's pretty much like two years, like to this date almost, right? Because we kind of united as a little group in April of 2022 on my 1000 stream. I think our first episode was like May or something like that. But so it's been almost 2 years. We've done, and then this is impressive to me, is that we've done together at least one show a month with 2 as well. So that's a lot of content in 2 years. So that's good. So thank you all for tuning in, and I'm proud of us for making that happen and not missing a month, which is cool because we've all got crazy schedules. So you figure how many episodes would that be? So at least 26, 27 plus maybe a little couple more. So let's say like 30 episodes together. Talking about Leprechaun in the Hood, I've seen more emotion from Mel and more hype.
I was wondering where this was going.
Yeah, so was I.
In 30 episodes of the show. This is like the most passionate I have seen Mel in 30 episodes.
Over fucking Leprechaun Back to
think
the
about
Hood.
that. And Justin, what do you think about
We haven't even gotten
I'm out of my mind,
yet.
but when I hear her talking about it, I'm like, oh my God, she is in right now.
She's on fire, and I think I have to agree with you, brother. I've never seen anything like it. It's absolute insanity.
Horrifying.
What is it about the Hood Leprechaun movies that's got a stranglehold on you?
You want to know what it is? Is you guys always pick the episodes, so this is finally one that I can relate to.
There we go.
She likes the cock. She likes that cocked hat. She like really is Hood inside. That's why she's coming out now and like just like going
Damn. Are we gonna have to do a watch along? We have to do a watch along. Leprechaun in the Hood.
Oh my God.
like a live commentary. It's just Mel explaining like everything.
Just trying to plead her case the whole time.
Every time there's like a funny
Everyone
thing.
must love these Leprechaun movies by the end of the show.
You can drop all kinds of fun trivia to help sway us to think it's cool.
The drugs. It's all the drugs I'm on for my sickness. It's making me loopy.
You know, during Garrett's whole speech, because there was nothing prepared or anything, I was like, this is a pretty epic speech. I don't want to interrupt him. I don't want to laugh in case he's going to say something heartfelt. Like, where's this going?
It was really just like a stick at me.
And then it was just a slam, right? Like, at the fucking... Dude,
when she's talking about it, it's like taking me back a little bit. Like she's like the passion is on.
The passion is in full force.
Yeah. So I mean, I appreciate that. I know I love it. It's just funny that it came out during Leprechaun in Back to the Hood. That's all. But it was needed. I think you needed to get that out. It's been built up for so long. You're just looking for the right time, and I think
I'm embarrassed now.
You know what this has started though? I guarantee this has started. From now on, like you're gonna be bombarded with like and tagged with anything Leprechaun in the Hood. People are gonna be sending like shirts and shit. It's gonna be like your whole shtick now is gonna be like Mel and Leprechaun in the Hood. Imagine doing a commentary the whole time, like every time there's like a slapstick joke, you're just like laughing your ass off. For, like he gets hit with that fridge, you're like, ah!
That scene is hilarious. I challenge everyone to go back and watch that scene and not laugh at it.
The fridge.
That fridge bit was just like gold. No pun intended for Mel.
It was so good. Okay.
But you thought you were laughing at that scene. I was like, okay, hold up. This doesn't make any fucking sense. Because if you really were to go in the fridge, the door's not gonna shut. And he had like so much room for activities and shit. It's like, no, the shelves are in there. The door wouldn't. I was thinking logistics, and it just wasn't working.
Thinking
that
too
makes
hard
sense right there. She is
That's
down
right.
with the clown. That's why
I
she
wasn't gonna
likes
say
these
it.
movies. Whoop whoop, baby.
You know what? If we rank all the
Whoop,
ICP movies, we'll see
No,
the most
it's
excited
whoop,
Mel we've
whoop.
ever
Oh,
seen
whoop.
in history. We get some Fagos. We rank the ICP movies. We eat corn dogs or whatever the fuck. You know.
Now
Juggle,
that
let's
would be
eat.
my stream for sure.
All right, just so you guys know, keep your eyes peeled because we are going to have a RadPack to the Hood shirt coming soon.
Oh hell yeah. We gotta have it.
Just all the merch, the big chains. Gonna have
Yeah, if we could put some
dangling
like gold
leprechauns
chains on us
them.
and like Photoshop some grills on us.
This
and-
is
It'll
just.
say RadPack, and then it'll have the number 2, and then it'll say like the Hood, like in the logo. Yeah.
Oh my god! Somebody please Photoshop a
we
girl
need
on
that.
me.
Oh,
That
my
would
That's
be
right. Chris said we
amazing.
could spray Fago on each other. That's what it's all about, man. We'll dump moon mist or whatever all over.
Okay, well, I'm thoroughly embarrassed, but anybody who watches my channel knows that these are the kind of movies that I really jam to. Cheesy B horror comedies.
Well, what I have as my
my
number
genre.
2 is you're gonna be like, oh, you don't have any fucking room to talk to. What are you talking about?
Well, and Justin, I thought me and you were kind of like on the same wavelength with like
Yeah, me too.
these movies because like
I
Leprechaun
know.
in Space really felt like Lovecraftian almost, you know. So I really thought that you would like with the monster.
Wait a minute. I haven't said.
Yeah, he hasn't even
haven't
talked
said
about that one
Leprechaun in
yet. So that
Space
was up
yet.
there for
You
him.
haven't said that one yet? Okay, well then there's still hope for you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, trust me, my shit's getting weird. My top 3 are well, we'll get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
So your number 3 is what, Justin?
Returns. And
Okay,
everything,
so
we
that's
kind of
number
already busted it all out.
Mhm.
I loved it. I'm a big Costanza. Stan. I like
Stanza.
but I thought he did such a, I don't know. I saw an interview with him, and I think maybe Mel, you did call me out a little bit about maybe letting the director and the passion, the passion influence my choice. But I did genuinely enjoy the movie. It gives us the gore that we never got really in any of these movies. It's just kooky and weird, and I don't know. I had fun with it. It was just way better than I thought it was going to be, So, in my humble opinion,
I can agree with you. Like I said, it could have been my 4 or 3. So I'm kind of on point with it. I actually was thoroughly shocked on how much I liked it, considering it was like a random movie that came out a couple years ago on Sci-Fi. So I didn't think I was gonna like it.
I always love when Garrett likes a goddamn new movie. It like warms my soul. I'm like, God, yes.
I just wish it wasn't this one. Like there's so many other movies that were great. Like Suitable Flesh was great. Yeah. Like
I haven't watched it yet.
We need to figure out some new shows or ideas that force Garrett to watch new movies. That's going to be like a strategy.
Like a series we do. Me and Justin.
Listen,
oh no shit! Movie, yeah, that's a good idea.
And then we do like a watch along, and then Garrett will give his like.
I haven't watched Suitable Flesh yet. You liked it, he didn't. So I'm going to be the tiebreaker, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but
I need to see it again because I did not care for it, man. The first time I watched it.
What was the most recent movie that you watched and you didn't like?
That I didn't like?
Yeah.
I think it was something that you guys liked. What the hell was it?
I
did like Lisa Frankenstein. I know I liked
on a roll, dude. Maybe
I liked Lisa Frankenstein. I actually liked that one. I didn't think I was going to.
I swear there was a recent one where you were
Totally Killer. He didn't like, which I loved.
I loved that one too.
No, I liked Totally Killer. I didn't like the Christmas one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
What was that?
Christmas, Bloody Christmas?
To Whom the Bell Tolls or something.
Oh no!
Wonderful Knife.
No. Yeah, Wonderful Knife. I didn't like that one.
Fantastic flick.
There was definitely something else that I didn't like. But yeah, I thought Lisa Frankenstein was actually really good. I think it's going to be a cult hit, to be honest with you. I think that more people are going to like that in 10 years than they do now.
I've bought so much merch for that movie because people keep sending it to me.
Wow, look at that, huh?
If they put out like I'll buy it.
Like sending it to me, but they'll send me links to stuff, and I'm like, ooh, and then I buy it.
I will say I did buy something from that movie.
The Studio House? Was it Studio House? Put out the shirt?
No, I didn't get the shirt, but I did get something.
You didn't buy any of the Studio House shirts?
I hadn't seen it when they went on sale.
Do
So
you
I
want to
didn't
know what's
buy it.
funny? Is I spent like $100 at Studio House on the merch, and I forgot to use the
You
RadPack
didn't use our
code
RadPack
and get
code?
15% off.
That's right.
All right. Well, you know what? Speaking of that, before we get into the rest of the top three, we can talk about that. Guys, if you are familiar with Studio House Designs, they actually just announced today that they're reprinting one of their classic VHS or Die Friday the 13th stacks. Those were very limited. I have one from back in the day, but they're restocked now, and you guys can get them with the discount RadPack.
Guys, what's up? RadPack and Studio House have partnered up to give you a discount at StudioHouseDesigns.com. You can enter the discount code RadPack at checkout for 15% of your order just in time for the holidays to get your Christmas gifts and all of that stuff. So go to their website, enter the code RadPack at checkout for 15% off. Thank you to Studio House Designs for partnering up with the RadPack. Watch more horror movies.
Cool.
Use that code, guys.
Yeah, use the code RadPack at checkout. They're always doing drops, so just going to keep your eye on their Instagram for that. And if you go on their Instagram, just comment underneath RadPack sent you if you want to. That'd be cool. Even if you don't buy anything, just throw a comment under one of their posts or something. That'd be cool for us. So this is actually a pretty good idea, Mel. Is Cody says that you should just do a video on all the stuff you've got from Lisa Frankenstein once it's all there. No, for real. I think that's probably that'd be a cool video. Like if you just don't do anything with it until it all comes and then do like a big, thing showcasing all the different things you got. I mean,
I guess I could, but I feel like I'm going to be waiting a while on some of it because Studio House alone is going to take a long time to get those shirts. And then I ordered shirts from somewhere else too. Like, was it Pentagram did a shirt?
Yeah.
They
put out cool shit.
Yeah, but they also take a really long time for you to get their stuff. So I'll do a video, but it'll take a minute.
I would just wait. Yeah.
Wait until the physical comes out and I'll buy all of them.
Oh, you got is that what the plan is?
Yep.
Oh my God. I got a print actually. I grabbed it before so I don't know if it sold out. I thought it was going to, so I grabbed it because I'm like, oh, if I ever, come across anybody, maybe I can get it signed or something. I don't know how popular, like, are those actors or actresses of big names? Or are they like people that would be at Comic-Con? Are they huge names?
Oh, both the leads are pretty big, man.
Yeah.
Especially Cole.
Cole is like the little kid from Big Daddy.
And he was in that Archie show too.
He was the kid from Big Daddy?
One of the twins.
Really?
It's a twin. They're twins.
Oh, I had no idea. Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that strange? Like
that's wicked strange.
I remember when
Zach
movie
and
came
Cody.
out and now he's the grown man.
That is wild. Yeah. Interesting. I am trying to think though what movie I saw recently that I didn't like. It had to have been something. I don't remember what it is now. Anywho, my number 3 is Leprechaun 2. Is my number 3. We've already kind of talked about it. I thought the girl's acting was bad. I liked it because it was still on that line of like we didn't get too slapsticky yet. So it still kind of took itself serious, I thought.
It was still a little grounded, somewhat, anyway. It was
like that's a good word, actually. It was still a little grounded. It still wasn't all, it didn't go all the way to that like crazy, bonkers, slapsticky end yet. It was kind of playing it in the middle, which I appreciated. I thought the beginning was cool where they went kind of back in time a little bit and he explained like how he had all those women. And then he went to this girl because he wanted to get her pregnant to have the little Lep. And I thought it was funny where like she was dating like that guy, but then she went out with that other guy, and the other guy like wanted to like hook up with her, and she didn't want to, and he's like, "But I bought you a chili dog."
Oh God, I forgot.
Like that should have been like the closer. What do you mean you don't want to?
Oh yeah, that was kind of crazy. Dog. Like that was one of the weird things about that movie. I was like, is this just his? Like, are they just friends? Like the two lead, the girl and the guy. And then she just like ditches him to go hang out with some fucking tough guy, and she just thought she was gonna go back.
So rude.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
That was her boyfriend. She's so rude.
I would have said, see you.
I will give you this though. The inside the tree set was freaking awesome. I loved that when I was younger. Just all them tunnels and like trying like them running around inside this huge tree because I was a big fort girl too. Like I loved having like little hidden places to hide. And I just thought that was like the coolest thing, to have this tree you could walk into, and there was just like all these tunnels in there. But this movie does have like one of the funniest things in it. So one of the limericks is, something new, something old, let's be together on Leprechaun's gold. So this is when he ties her down to the bed and he like rips open like her shirt from here, and he's like about to like have her, but he like wants to do it on his gold, so he dumps it on her.
Fucking
They're
baller,
like about
dude.
to go to town on all of his riches.
That's baller shit, man.
He's sick, dude. He's a badass. And he got drunk at the bar and stuff. He was killing it.
He does get hammered. That scene was
see,
funny. Warwick
was
Davis, that's one thing I'll
funny.
say, like, no matter how silly these movies get, I gotta say Warwick Davis kind of just goes for it every time. He doesn't phone in his performance, even in, you know, the shittier movies, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I thought it was you know, I thought it was fine. Again, it was something else where like I think this one they introduced like a new rule where he like couldn't touch like steel or something. Like that was weird too, because like that wasn't really part of it before. Like remember they like cast iron he couldn't touch. Remember that was like the new thing now where like they kept touching him with it and he kept getting burned and all that stuff. Like an element, which again I guess it's fine. But yeah, I thought Leprechaun 2 was pretty good, and I think, like I said, Leprechaun Returns was good, and those kind of could either gone either way for me. But I feel like they were still kind of in a good place with the franchise at this point.
I would agree.
All right, Melski, what's your number 3, kid?
My number 3 is Leprechaun in Space. This movie makes the top 3 because it is amazing. It's so funny. The practical effects are amazing. It has like a Barbarella ripoff in it. I love that like they don't really explain how he gets out into space, but like through the whole movie he's considered like this alien that they're trying to kill. So it doesn't really have much of the Leprechaun like mythos, and the pot of gold plays very little part in it like at the end, but there's just so much good stuff about this movie. Like the monster, and this is where I say it was kind of Lovecraftian, because that spider scorpion amazing monster thing was very like, it was reminiscent of
it's like The Fly, Slither, like
that kind of stuff. I really loved that about it, and it just, there was just so much going on with the soldiers, and then that doctor portion was almost like a side story. It was super funny. Like the Leprechaun really spawns out of this guy's junk, you know, like
yeah, that was like when I saw that happen, I'm like, oh, this is what we're getting into now. This is the way this movie's gonna roll.
Yeah, it's like they just went 0 to 100 in this movie, and they're like, you know what, we give no fucks anymore. Like we're doing this, and we're gonna do it like crazy. And isn't it funny that they sent Leprechaun to space before they sent him to the hood?
To the hood, yeah.
Like usually space is like
the last resort.
The last resort, yeah, you know. So I thought that was funny too, but I don't know. I think this movie is hilarious, and it has just so much creativity in one little movie.
Did you
That's
laugh
what I thought. There was like some spirit to this movie, you know.
Did you guys laugh when the middle finger came across the window? Were you like,
yeah, that was fucking great, man.
Yes.
When I saw that, I went like this. What
this was the
I thought it was hilarious. Every time he
it.
flips somebody off, it's like the funniest thing that's ever happened.
His little tiny
life.
finger.
I think I had the same reaction that I had when I saw that Cursed for the first time, when the werewolf chucked the bird. I was like,
oh god,
oh, what the hell am I watching?
Anyway.
Chris said they send to the space because the hood is the last resort. Now, let me ask you this now: when you were a little Melinsky, and you were making forts and stuff, were you just in there by yourself, or did you bring some of like the animals with you? Like, what were you doing in there? Who was in there with you?
All right, it was just me.
Oh, was it?
Were you? I was always outside. So my mom would like, on the weekends, she was like a serial cleaner. So she would literally kick me, my brother, and my dad out of the house from like dawn till dusk, and we just had to be outside doing whatever.
Your brother, like, what are you doing in there? And you're like in the little fort. You're like, I'm in the hood. So you're like,
Well, he's
like the
4
movie.
years
yeah,
older
get the
than
hell out of
me.
here.
He was
Yo,
4
step
years
off.
older than me, so what I was doing was a little different than what he was doing. So
Oh, yeah.
I
You
was
were
like
in
a
the hood.
little kid, and he was
He was-
older.
Yeah.
He always thought he was cooler,
Oh God, are we on our top 2 right now?
We're on the top 2.
Yep.
Oh snap! All right, Justin, let's start us off right here.
Well, just to piggyback off what Mel was saying, my number 2 is Leprechaun in motherfucking space. This is the first time I had ever seen it. I was shocked at how much I loved it. The space, like, you could tell the budget is fucking nothing because, like, the special effects of the spaceship, they look like low. Oh, it almost looks like a porno set or something. But they packed so many gags and like practical effects gags throughout. Like when the guy gets his face smashed and it does like the what's the movie with the redheaded guy and Phoebe Cates?
Mask. Oh wait,
No.
oh, Phoebe Cates and the redheaded guy.
Yeah, the imaginary friend, Drop Dead
Oh,
Fred.
Drop Dead
Drop Dead
Fred?
Fred. Yeah.
Isn't there
okay.
a bit in the space one where he gets his face smashed and it's all like
Oh, yeah.
flat and shit? Yeah.
Oh
And,
my god, yeah.
it was hilarious, and it was just like watching Alien. I'm like, and it didn't get as boring for me as all the other ones because they had all that, like each soldier kind of had its own personality, and they were always on a mission. And the fucking guy with the plate in his head was hilarious. And then you had like the mission commander guy who ends up being that weird machine, and then the spider monster. I was like, this is fucking awesome.
See,
Kills. I'm right there with you, Mel. I think it's
knew you had it in ya.
extremely underrated. And I think it's hated on just because it is like the one that goes to space. But I don't know. If the same movie took place anywhere else, I feel like people would have maybe a different opinion on it,
they broke all the rules in this one too, because
Yeah.
throughout like the whole franchise, he's either searching for that one coin or he's searching for his gold flute. This one, he like wanted to be king.
Right. Oh God, I forgot about that.
That was
whole fucking
his like
aspect.
main objective, was to be king.
Wasn't
Yeah.
the girl like the queen or something like
The
that?
queen.
Yeah, she was like the princess, and then he was gonna marry her, and then they were gonna kill the king, and then they would take over or whatever.
That shameless fucking scene that made zero sense when she's just standing there with her boobs out for no reason. I'm like, what is she doing?
Well, didn't it say like that killed somebody or something? Like,
I think the studio
When
said,
she
you
does
guys.
that,
Well, they give her some dumb reason. I think the studio said, "Hey, we need boobs in this movie," so they literally
that's
wrote
100%
something
why they
stupid.
said that. Oh,
Yeah, because they're like,
definitely.
so it actually means that if she shows you her boobs, that you will die if it was her planet. And I'm like, what?
or yeah, you will be the next to die or something like
Yeah.
That was 100%. We need to throw something like that in here. 110%.
Well, it was funny because they showed boobs, and then like later on in the movie, they found a reason to have the dude rip his shirt off, and then they found a reason for the chick to get her pants ripped. The Sylvester Stallone look-alike or whatever.
He was like a Bizarro World Stallone brother, like a lost Stallone brother.
He was too.
Blu-ray Addict said that he thinks this had a $1.6 million budget, part 4.
That's actually not bad.
Right.
For that type of movie.
I wonder if that's the biggest budget that any of these had.
They definitely had the most special effects, for sure, like by a mile. By a country mile. You know what I mean?
For sure. So yeah, it seems like you guys are right on point with that. I mean, that one fell for me. It was on the higher end. Oh no, it was like dead center for me. But yeah, it seems like a lot of people actually like that one quite a bit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think it's Jason. It's like it's the Jason X of the franchise. Either you fucking hate it or you love it. I don't think there's going to be a lot of in between, honestly.
Oh wow, Blu-ray Addict said part 2 had the biggest budget, $2 million. Huh.
That's crazy because nothing fucking happens in that movie.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wild. It makes sense though. The success of the first one, they want to try to make more money on the second one. They thought it would do better.
Cody said the producer wanted the main actor to talk like Stallone, but then he got cold feet as they didn't want to get sued.
Oh,
That
so
would've
it
been funny.
was a ripoff.
That is funny.
That's funny. They probably could have afforded the Doofy Stallone, like the Billy Baldwin style brother of the Stallone
Oh, yeah,
brothers.
like
or
Frank.
something. Yeah, they
Frank
could have got
Stallone.
fucking Frank, probably cheaper too.
Oh, definitely.
Threw
Definitely.
a few bucks and buffet at him. He's all good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, free food and a couple of bucks. Oh, yeah, he'd be down. I get to go to space. Yeah.
Jar of
Sweet.
protein powder. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So are we on? Let's do it, dude. Fucking
That
number
was
one.
that was your number 2, and then me and Mel still have to do our number 2.
Oh fuck! I'm getting way ahead of myself. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, just
Okay.
forget
I
about
guess
our
you guys
lists.
can give yours too, really quick.
All right, my number 2 is the original Leprechaun. This is my number 2.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh, now there's a plot twist.
I thought it was. I think it's watching it again. It's classic. It feels like it's a part of the time. Early 90s kind of has that feel. Obviously Jennifer Aniston's in it, which is always cool. And again, I think that it was funny. It was like a horror comedy. I think they were trying to make it almost like it's kind of a slasher element. And I just think that it did this to me. I liked because it didn't go full board like slapsticky yet. Like there was still jokes here and there, but it was kind of like his character, like almost like Freddy was. I don't think Freddy ever went completely slapstick. Maybe like Freddy's Dead, but like that's the closest that I think it got. So I mean, to me, he kind of felt like a Freddy Krueger with the one-liners and stuff. So I liked the first one. I think maybe some people actually might find the first one a little slow at times, but I think as a whole, I liked it. And we still have one on all of our boards, so I'm sure that's coming up. It's either going to be your 2-1.
Yeah. Mine is number 3. Leprechaun
Ooh.
Goes to Vegas.
Fuck yeah.
I absolutely love this one. Everything about this movie works for me. It doesn't work for everybody, but man, it's just so funny.
It has its moments.
For real.
Yeah, I don't know. But this one also takes it back to, like I said, they kind of break some of the rules with the coins having wishes and that kind of thing. And I liked it that they did this different element where it was like the guy got bit and then the leprechaun's blood got on his arm and then he started to turn into a leper. I thought that was a cool idea. And it was like,
cool.
it was something different they were doing to like have that movie stand out from the rest of them. So I really kind of liked that about it. But yeah, that's my number 2.
Hell yeah.
Oh boy. All right, everybody in the chat, we're going to give you a second. Start putting your number 1 on this list. I know a lot of people gave some of their rankings, but I'm just curious what people's number 1 is, and then we'll get to it. But and I'll start to just say what's up again to a couple of people that jumped in. But Cody said the little kid is from Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. I'm going up a little bit here. Just guys having conversations with themselves here. But let me know your number 1 on who would win, Rumpelstiltskin or Leprechaun. I would love to see Rumpelstiltskin again. I sold my DVD and thinking it was going to come out, and I got it for big money. So I haven't watched that movie in a long, long time.
I saw that comment, and I remember I used to love Rumpelstiltskin when I was younger too. So it'd be interesting to watch that one again and talk about it.
I agree. I'm not sure if you can even see it. Probably YouTube, maybe. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere, but I haven't seen that in many years.
Yeah,
like I
me
said,
either.
I sold that Artisan DVD for maybe $100 a couple of years ago, and thinking I was like, "Oh, Vinegar Syndrome's going to put this out," and then never did. All right, we have people saying Blu-ray Addict said Back to the Hood is his number 1.
Oh,
That's wild.
Vanderhoff says the original's his number 1. Dynamite Sydney says number 3. Dude says number 3. Oh, Troll. I love Troll. That would be one that we would have a fun time discussing. The Troll parts 1 and 2. Oh, that would be
so
a
down.
trip.
yeah, I loved Troll too.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
And it's got Moriarty in it.
Yeah.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
You can
You know-
clip
you know
more
his name?
super chats
Yeah.
from that.
Yeah. You know what his name is? Harry Potter.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
that's right.
That's right.
I used to like laugh my ass off every time I watch it. And they're like, "Hello, how are you?" He's like, "Harry Potter." And he's like shaking their hand. "I'm Harry Potter."
Yeah, that's hilarious. Before that whole shit blew up.
Yeah. A lot of people saying the first one. All right, Justin. I think I know what yours is. We got
my number one
baby.
my number one is number one. It's to me, it's the most grounded out of the series. I like the characters, Jennifer Aniston, and then like the two, Francis and the little kid from Don't Tell My Babysitter's Dad. They have great chemistry. They're just charming. They never quite capture the charm, I think, of the characters and the wraparound story like they did in that first movie. So yeah, that's my number one. It's a classic for a reason. Still silly as shit, but
all right, my number one is Leprechaun 3. Is my number.
What?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome. I thought it was like
it. I really do.
For a movie that came out when it did, I felt like it very 80s as far as like the practical effects, and there's a lot. It was just fun, and I think everything Mel's already said, everything that she said, I agree with. Where the element of like the person turning into a leprechaun was awesome. I think the element of having the coin swaps was cool, where they each had a wish and then they would lose it. I thought that was fun too, and it's always kind of fun to have a movie like this, like in a place like a casino. I thought that just kind of turned it up a notch because there was so much that can happen in all the different rooms and the casino itself. I just thought it was really good. And like I said, the girl helped a lot because she was stunning in the movie. So I think all in all, I had the most fun with Leprechaun 3. And Melski, finish us off.
My number one is also number one, which is funny because Justin, I was also going to describe it as charming. There's one thing that I love more than a horror comedy, and that's when a horror movie can present itself as charming, and this very much does. Jennifer Aniston is always amazing no matter what, but I also liked the Ozzy character, and I feel like that's another reason why Returns just annoyed me, was because I felt like they did him super dirty in that one, where they just offed him right away in the beginning and then brought him back at the end as some weird ghost thing. Like, this is the first time you see ghosts in this series, so that was just off-putting because he was also such a charming character in that first movie. But like I said, I hadn't watched the first one in a really, really long time. And I just rewatched it the other day. And it is funnier than I remember it, because I too remembered it being a little slower than the rest of them. But it's kind of not, because for some reason, I remember like not seeing the leprechaun as much in this one, but you actually see him almost right away. And he does funny things, like he's riding around on tricycles and he's driving mini cars. And there's a scene where he gets flung through a fence and it leaves like his body shape as like a cutout. And then there's like another scene where he's on a skateboard and he's like skateboarding back and forth in front of this door doing hilarious things for no reason. Like, I forgot about all of that stuff, and it was so funny, but it wasn't quite as over the top as the rest of the movies. And the limericks weren't as funny as the rest of the movies, but it was, the overall story was crafted so much better in this movie. And the one true thing that should kill a leprechaun is a clover. So that made the most sense for this movie. And for all of those reasons is why it will always remain number one.
Hell yeah. It's a classic, man. It's got some heart to it, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, Blu-ray said that Jennifer Aniston is embarrassed about the movie. Dude says the main girl from Leprechaun 3 didn't understand the kind of movie she was making, hated every second of it, and quit acting right after.
Yeah, I looked at her IMDb. She didn't do much.
Oh, man. That is crazy. Well, you know what else I was thinking when we were talking about it just now and talking about the Leprechaun in the Hood? I don't remember which one it was, but what was the one where they kept using the word ninja, and then at the end he finally said it, and you're kind of like, "There's
Back to the Hood."
Yeah, but I'm watching that and I said, they changed this at the last second. That wasn't what they were probably trying to do at the time, and they probably get to a point where they're like, yeah, we can't go here.
Yeah,
I'm thinking because it just didn't make sense, really.
Yeah,
I was
the
kind of
whole
impressed that they had the balls to have that white guy just stroll in and say what he said,
I
and I was like,
Yeah, like I think that they were trying to go a certain direction, and maybe Warwick Davis was like, I ain't gonna do it. And they probably switched it to like Ninja because it doesn't it's not really that, it's kind of like a random plot that
it is kind of a weird little thing. That would be interesting to deep dive into that a little more and see what it was all
I
about.
really do think that it probably was to try to get a laugh back in like the 90s,
I started looking into, it's just kind of an interesting fact about how Hollywood is, especially like in the heyday of like you could say and do anything pretty much in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. Every person there was not like one single black person involved in the creation of either of those movies. You know what I mean? So you could definitely tell it's written by some white dudes trying to be kind of shocking and silly and goofy. Couldn't get away with that now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Movies. It comes across as a hood movie that was written by some corny ass like boomers.
Well, and those were the movies too that also like broke the rule by having some weird amulet be the thing that turns him to stone.
Yeah.
It's just like every movie there's like something different that is supposed to kill him.
Yeah, like that's why there was the rules just started coming out with like random ones as we went. Like there was no real lore that they stuck with throughout. I think that could have helped if they would have had like specific rules, then you always kind of knew what you were getting into. Maybe Leprechaun's going to the Wild West. Maybe that's next.
Yeah, that's about the only thing they haven't done. They have those 3 tropes. So it's like hood, space, west.
Who knows where this thing goes?
Travel.
I mean, do you think that this franchise is somewhat over at this point, or do you think that it's still an IP that are going to get thrown around every?
Oh, I hope it's over.
They could do a Shudder or a Tubi. I guarantee we haven't seen the last of Lep, man. No way.
Yeah, probably not. Leprechaun is just it's like the Robert Englund of, like Warwick Davis is like the only Leprechaun that works for me. So I would just leave it.
Yeah, I mean he ain't doing it again, but he was actually going to be at a convention that was around me, but he just canceled. It would have been cool to get a Leprechaun poster signed or something like that by him, but
he's got to be getting up there.
It was kind of fun to do this episode. I think that especially because there was so many of these movies that I think all of us haven't revisited in quite a while. So like if we were to do like, let's say we did this for Friday 13th, I wouldn't even really need to do much back work. Like it would be like, okay, I get it.
Oh my God. I'd have to watch all of those movies. I hate my life.
But someone mentioned in here, they said, this was fun. You guys should do Children of the Corn next. I don't know if I could do Children of the Corn. I think that I would never.
Children of the Corn is a blast from the past for me.
They're bad.
I was the child of the corn.
It would make a fun episode. That's actually, you know what? That might not even be. I was thinking for like a Camp RadPack, but I don't know. That would be a fun episode to do either way. I'd like to go through those movies. They're fucking horrible though. They're rough.
And there's got to be more than there are leprechauns, right? There's got to be.
There's probably 10 or 11 of those fucking things.
Oh my God. I probably haven't seen them all then.
Yeah, I feel like there's even new one that I haven't seen. Like one that just recently came out. I never saw that. I don't think I saw one called Genesis or whatever.
Was that a remake? That newest one?
I don't know.
It was like a reboot kind of a thing. It wasn't great.
But every once in a while, it would be cool to kind of go through a little franchise like this, not one of the big ones, but a smaller one. Like I think, like we could do definitely a troll one, even though there's only really 2 movies. But that would be kind of fun to talk about on that, and some other smaller franchises and rank them and stuff. But this was hella fun, and we still have another show coming this month. Which is going to be a cool one, different, interesting, and we're still going to kind of let you guys know a little bit more about it, but it's going to be called Bad Neighbors.
I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So basically we're going to talk about movies that have to do with like, killer neighbors or somebody in your neighborhood that could be, possibly committing crimes or something. So movies like Fright Night, and we got Summer of '84.
Suburban horror,
Suburban horror.
Yeah, I was gonna say suburban horror.
Yeah. Suburban horror for sure. But then what happens? The problem is that it just can get so broad. Like people could say like, well, is Elm Street suburban horror? Well, kind of, I guess, because it takes place in a small neighborhood in suburbia with Freddy.
Right. Yeah, so kind of narrow it down to more of a neighbor
Mm-hmm.
kind of vibe, but the evil's in the
neighborhood. Yeah. So, and someone said Disturbia. Yes. So Disturbia definitely is going to be in there. So we're going to make a list, I think, of 10. So, you know, there might be some that we leave out, but I think we're going to try to get about 9 or 10 and then just kind of watch them all and then discuss them. Not necessarily rank them. I mean, we can easily rank them, but it'll just be fun to talk about some movies, you know, that maybe people aren't talking about quite a bit. We were just talking about that. Not next, but it could be one. I'm telling you, that is one that like I'd feel like I'd honestly be watching some of those for the first time.
Yeah.
Besides that first one, I have no recollection of like any other.
Second one's great.
Yeah, I remember the first two for sure being awesome.
Stepfather ranking, what is that? 4 of them?
That could be fun. Warlock, the Warlock movies is a short one.
Warlock.
Yeah, maybe we should put together a list of like the smaller
Wishmaster
franchises.
Yeah, the Bad Neighbors episode is going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Urban Harvest, is that one of the, I think that's one of the Children of the Corn movies.
Yeah,
right?
They even go to the hood. Children of the Corn go to the hood.
Malachi in the Hood or whatever.
Love it.
But yeah, guys, thank you so much. That was our Leprechaun franchise retrospective and ranking. And if you guys didn't check it out, if you're coming in on the now, definitely go back and watch it at the beginning and hear Mel definitely talk about the Hood movies.
I was just gonna say, I apologize for my enthusiasm.
Never apologize for your enthusiasm.
I realize I'm on an island with this one.
We all have those movies.
One of my favorite movies is Blood Diner. Like, if anybody's like, that's the kind of movie that I love. That cheesy B horror comedy where it's just absolutely ridiculous, but practical effects are on point. You know,
that could be a show too. Food horror. You could do like Blood Diner and Motel Hell and Slaughterhouse. You could do like food related like type of horror. That could be a fun
much
episode.
out there.
We should do that.
When we get out of here, we'll take some notes. But guys, thanks again for checking this out. This is Garrett from Born to Be Rad with my co-host Mel. What do you got coming up on the channel? You're due, right?
Yeah.
What do you got coming up? You got the Lisa Frankenstein collection. What else?
I got the Lisa Frankenstein collection coming to you.
How about favorite Hood movies? Is that coming? No, that's not coming. Oh, all right.
No, I might do a Leprechaun ranking.
She's gonna go through the show and clip everything she says and just like make a video.
That would actually be more work than me just sitting here and just re-saying all.
You could just re-say the whole thing, yeah. How about you, Justin? What do you got brewing? I get afraid when you haven't put out anything in a while. That means something big's coming.
Yeah, I got some things in the work. What I'll say for right now, if you want to keep up to date with what I'm doing, just follow me on Instagram. You can keep up with me there, Justin MF David, and I'll be posting some updates on new stuff there. So I won't say anything here. It's not quite. I don't have any big announcements at the moment. So
okay. But guys, keep if you're not subscribed to the RadPack Pod channel, please subscribe now if you enjoyed what you saw tonight. If you want to check us out on all audio platforms, just search the RadPack Pod. You can check myself out at Born to Be Rad. You can check Mel out at My Killer Podcast. You can check Justin out at Dead Couch and Justin MF Howard.
The Instagram. My other channel is just Justin David. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dead Couch and Justin David. Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely check us out there and stay tuned because there is more RadPack coming in March. So we will see you guys then.